I start the recording. So for people who not able to attend the meeting due to other reasons, they can watch again. Okay, so for this week's and the coming weeks, I will try to use the time giving you feedback and explanations of difficult topics according to your perception. And this hopefully will be additional support because we got some feedback from online students and they feel a little bit less interactions and less explanations tutorials. So we decided to turn the NetMed a little bit toward the tutorial interactions. So we try to go through topics that's difficult to the most of students. Right. So let's. I think I'm sure many of you here filling in the survey, but if you have not done it, it doesn't take you a long time. And for this class, no, because here you only have the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I would say this gonna be some key topics for the final exam. So maybe if you learn yourself from YouTube or from other sources, this will be a good anchor to see what actually the focus of this class. So I share my screen in, or I did, no, maybe not. So I share my screens. Right. So this format is difficult to see in one tab. So I need to switch between the questions and this response. We have 15 response now, but I believe we will have more to come. Every questions have 4 answers. So the final one is that you do not understand it at all. So this is maybe because you do not have time to study, you do not investigate effort yet, or it is actually a difficult, very difficult subject. So we have to really focus on the one with the most rate for this option. We also have somebody rated it difficult. Yeah. So let's have a look at the results of the first 15 response. So this is a summary. So it's anonymous. So we do not know who vote for what, and we will not review that. Yeah. So the first, I can see the first 5 questions. There's a bit of variance here, but it's a really an area where most of you have good understanding. So the basic structures of an HTML documents is actually mean we always have the HTML, the opening HTML tag, and we have the closing HTML tag in the end. And nesting inside, there are 2 sections. The first one is head, and the second one is the body. Every content should lie in the body section. And style, we can create an external style tag. The style tag have to stay inside the body, inside the head section. Or the style can be an attribute. I hope everybody knows attributes and the attributes of any HTML element. Every HTML element, page, paragraph, headings, hyperlink, image, every HTML element can have the style as their attributes. Yeah, so this is the quick but also dirty way to give the format for any HTML element. Great. So I see that it's an active listening is happening. Yeah, so great. Yes, so the third way to do that is you created your CSS file yourself, and we put an hyperlink into the file you want to use the style. And everybody, I think, already know about this. So the first three topics is really belongs to public end, and most of everybody actually pass the public end, so we do not see the need to cover this part. There are two out of 15 say we do not understand the difference between the class and ID. We can write a small things here. For example, yeah, so you are looking at my Sublime window. It's a small program with paragraphs and one div and one button. So I use this for the JavaScript example later, but first I demonstrate the difference between ID and class. So for example, I have one with my text, and I have the other one also with my text. So somebody can write me if it is okay for me to do it in this way by using the ID, because I want to give the same format for both of these paragraphs. So I will give the style here, and in the style I will give the my text. Maybe font size. For example, in this way. Yes, so very good. So yes, so this already very quick answers, and it is correct. If we want to give, for example, here we give it another level. It's a heading, so to see the difference, because both heading and paragraph we can both having the ID, right? But yeah, like every person in this in Norway, we have our own social security number. Is our ID. But can we have two people with the same ID? Two people with same social number, right? Yes, exactly. So we cannot have two people with the same ID. So that's the same here. Even this pay and this H1 are different type of element, but we cannot have it the same. What if you want to give the same format for both of these? Because one is paragraph and one is heading, we cannot give it exactly the same way. So somebody want to make it like this. So we use class instead. So like you are here, belong to the same class, which is web development class, taking the same lecture. So yeah, so you can belong to the same class. So the class have the difference here. Yeah. So in this way, we can give the same format to two different HTML elements. Yeah. But this, I think, is also not an issue with this. Yes, so yeah, so CSS box model having the same same amount of concern, and yeah, and selections of CSS rules, that's also the same. Interestingly, not so many people find specificity value difficult and combination as well. So I would like to give this own CSS topics together. So it's like one or two people having issues, and it's not critical. So we can repeat the explanation with CSS when we have time or in the coming net Møte. Let's find something that's having more problems. Yes, of course. So we see the question, if you know there are 4 ways to specify colors, and it has been easy for most of people, so I'm glad to see. Yes, so the question about image tag, if you know how to use image tag, and that's appeared that very easy for straightforward using table. So these both belong to oblivion. Yeah, that's you have done homework, then it should not be an issue. This one is about a special case with table when you create a row or a column that consumes space of 2 normal rows or more than two normal rows in the same column, special column that take space of 2 or more columns. Yeah, that seems not to be a problem. Video and audio, that's also not difficult. We can put also together CSS displays the difference between inline and block and flex. So flex is clear, right? If you want to use flexbox, you need to declare the display type equal to flex. So the inline, for example, any text formatting attribute element like strong, like italic, for example, they are inline elements because it doesn't give the new line. So that's why it's called inline. It doesn't give a break. It doesn't bring a new paragraph. But block, for example, div or the heading H1, H2, H3, paragraph A, their own block type. So block type means it stays in its own block, and when ending with the closing tag, it opens a new paragraph. Float is interesting that many people find it's difficult, but not at the level of not understand at all. Yeah, so okay, yeah, so if so we are not okay. Let me see. Good. So okay, so let's bring an example here with the inline and block. Okay, so I would say another thing is this is an example of an inline block elements. Okay, so we use this as a div. Then down here we use another thing. Well, normally I use span as a good example. This will be in the same line as the previous sentence. Yeah, so let me see. Why do I use span? To give you an example of the difference between inline and block. So span is example of inline elements, and div is an example of block elements. No, I think I should give some. Okay, great. So here you see, well, we opened. Yeah, so here's the first one. This is an example of a block element. And we show the code here. Yeah, so the codes, this one is the code given for the div. So you see in the div, everything in this div stay in its own block, this one block. And when we end the div, it starts a new line. So an example here is a new line. But it's not like div, the span. Span is also give a special logical block that you can do as some sort of formatting. But the difference is that it's an inline style. That's the only difference between span and div. So here, instead of giving the new lines, or we can say here, we refresh this one again. Yeah, so you see that these three sentences are staying in the same line. These three. Yeah. Yeah, we're speaking about this. Yeah, so, but first the basic difference between the div and span, standing for the difference between the block type and inline type element. Right. So when we're speaking about the display, so an element here we can say, for example, display can be flex. Yeah, so it can also be like inline, flex, and other type. But if you want to declare these things belong to flexbox type, you first have to say that display equal to flex. So Jack have a comment that display flex with a responsive unit such as adding more percentage or aim can be tricky and to position elements exactly the way you want it. Yeah, especially when you have the whole page responsive at the same time. Yeah, that's very good comment. So I don't know if I should go in deep with this. So yes, so it is always I can say the most difficult part for web Utvikling is actually to write the code that giving you the layout you want, giving you and also make it responsive. So in Uplic 2, what you do is actually to only give, I only test with 2 or 3 size, the standard web browsers for laptop, one for tablet and one for mobile view. So actually what you do is to, I suggest also you use the like Jack mentions here, the relative size, you're not using the exactly points, but you use percents. For example, the navigation should go 100% or should go how many M, yeah, with the font text. And that makes the responsive part. In responsive design, do I recommend using, okay, 12, can you bring the link as well, 12 column methods? Or I can search here. Do you mean the bootstrap grid? Yeah, maybe you just send the link, because it's a bit yeah. Yeah, so most likely you're talking about grid systems. Yeah. Let me see if we put the link there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the grid view is something a bit more advanced than what I expected. Let me see. Yeah, so this is in bootstrap grid system. Yeah, so in this system, it's allowed you to divide the viewport or the window into maximum 12 columns, and then you can distribute your content or your elements according to this column. And they also define the classes. So this the responsive parts of Bootstrap. Yeah, so and then here they give the basic structure. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Well, yeah, I would say that many of my students, when reaching to Oblique 2, they use grid systems, and which I think very close to a modern way of developing websites. So my friends or my colleague are some working in the companies, in some companies are actually using this way to define the layout for their websites. Well, semantic element is it's an alternative and more advanced versions. For the one who already get acquainted with semantic elements such as header and because the semantic element is only give the name, it doesn't do anything. But for this, for example, if you put it in this way, column, and then you give the number like this. Where no, they do not have an example yet here. Let me open one example here. Yeah, so here, for example, they say, okay, so this div, they will use the column and small and 3, and column and medium size and 6. So this they already give the responsive part. So for in case that we are using the small device, in case we are using a large device. So yeah. So here, for example, in the large, in the small device, is a device. Is the first tip. It takes like 3 columns, and here the second tip it takes like 9 columns, and for the medium side they take 6 columns, and this one takes 6 columns. Let me see. Yeah, so for example here, so they give the first one as you see, so yeah, so for the small devices, this one is would give 25% for the yellow, and then 75% for the pink. Let me see if it is correct. Yeah, like this. Yeah, and on the extra small devices, automatically stack like 100% for each of that. So yeah, in this way. And it is giving the equal size. So this the medium. So this one takes 6 column and the other one takes 6 column. So the difference between the semantic elements with this approach is that this one you can think already in terms of the responsive design, and you can think, okay, in this case, how you give the small, how you divide the section in terms of the small, medium, or large device. And semantic elements actually just give you the logical layout, but you still need to write the media query. So in the media query, we define, okay, when the size is large, that means larger than 1024 points, we will give the header section maybe 100%, and the footer section maybe we give it like 50%, for example. Okay, so another questions, how do we make a README document? Do you have an example? Well, you don't have to make it complete. Yes, like yeah, Yeah, so you, yeah, Jack getting have some ideas already. So you do write a text file. You can write with Sublime, you can write with whatever text editor you have. You can also write with Microsoft Word and save it as a doc file, for example. That's fine. And just be honest and writing the way you did. So this is only reflection. So this is an important learning activities that's part of the pedagogical science. So it's helped you to review, think again through what you have done in the public and make it stick to so it's good for your own learning. So there's no strict judgment on that. Yeah, but of course you should write what asked it. Yeah. Very good. Yeah, so back to these questions. I know that's wow. In short, if you bootstrap, is a bit different way of giving the responsive part, and you don't write the media query as it's right usually. So two ways. You use semantical elements and you write media queries, and the other ones you can do with bootstrap. Okay, so let's get to the next topic. I want to talk a bit about JavaScript, so that's why I just better go through some topics here. Yeah. Okay, so where are we? So we're talking about okay, here. Right. Yeah, some of the topic I will go again, but have an overview. Yeah, so some people, yeah, absolutely, we need to talk much about the flex routes and flex string, but this means we spend the whole time talking about flexbox. Another question in exercise 2, yeah, criteria to geolocation code be connected and work with the map. Yeah, it's supposed to be. So the idea is that you insert a map into your website, and it used to be very easy to embed a Google map. Now maybe it's a bit more difficult. You need to register and have a key ID or something. Yeah. Okay, but I skipped the topic, so I jump to something that you all will be benefit. So let's do again a small example with JavaScript. It's starting from here. So only 3 people think script tag is easy, and more than half think it's difficult, and a lot. So yeah. 4 people think it's so difficult, and 6 people think we do not understand at all. So let's start with that. I opened already this file. You see, that's maybe I remove the sign, this one, and I even remove these parts. Yeah, so then you see this only like 40 line of codes. But it is important to that we need to understand. Yeah, so let's open with browser. So what will happen when we click these buttons? You know. So when I click the style buttons, an alert box will shall pop up, So this we call a pop-up window. So in this pop-up window, we have the text, hello, I am an alert box, and a default button, OK. So you click OK, then it closes the box. And doing that is very simple, but we need to understand. So here, everything stay in the line number 10. Yeah, so if we learn about schema, we know that we can have a buttons standing alone, and you name it, the HTML tag name buttons. And this is an attribute like class, like a trasset, like character style. You can have a style here as well. Style, for example, and font text. Color. Yeah, maybe text. Brown color, maybe it's better. Maybe we give it. Oh no, maybe blue or something. Yeah. So you look at, so star is an attributes and on click is also attributes. But the attribute with starting with on, like we have on click, on change, on hover. So this a special attributes, it defines what will happen when we do something with that element. It doesn't have to be a button here. It can be some other things, like it can be a heading, H1. We can click on the H1 as well, save it and opens. Yeah, like this. So this H1, and we only give the background color, which is blue. And on click, I mean, we click on this anywhere in this blue zone. And it will show you, hello, I am an alert box. Okay. Yeah, so the button is a more standard way to click on things, but you can click on everything. And yeah, so but the thing is, when you click on something, on an element, the event clicking happens, and the clicking events will be catched by things inside this attribute. Yeah. And alert is actually a functions. So it has been something like this somewhere else. Alerts. Yeah, so here I'm redefine the alert function. So here take in text, and here I write some code like yeah, so something like this. But this is a system function, and I do not need to define it, and I only need to call it here. So here again, this is a call to a JavaScript function that I do not have to create it myself. I only have to use. And if you want to create a functions, and first you need to define the name, function name, and the parameter inside, and the body of the function as well. Yeah, so I remove this one, so we can run it again. You see? Oh, okay, so we click on these buttons and it's show. Yeah, then questions. So you think that that's easy, and that's fine. We can move forward to the next one. But if you think it's still difficult, we should explain a bit more here. Yeah, okay, so let's try with another example. Yeah, so here is the what we have say the extension of the example before. Let's see what it does first. So it's the same. We have one paragraph and we have one buttons. And if we click on the buttons style, the format of this text change. So to do this, so first we have to give uh, a function name here in the on click. So that means when we click on the style button, the JS style will happens. This function will be called. And we define every JavaScript code have to stay inside the script tag between the open script tag and the closing tag here. And here you can define more than two functions, and more than one function, sorry. For example, you can say this is you have to be like this. Functions, no, hello, so yeah, so the way we done before. Something else. Yeah, can have a lot of codes here, but every code stay inside a function definition block. Will not so run. So I mean, this is completely a library. You can have it here, or you can put it in a separate JavaScript file, and then you link. You have the link to that file, and then you call that functions. So that's why there are many JavaScript libraries nowadays, because they contain actually a lot of functions, and we only use a link to that. Yeah, so you need to give the ref to have href here to that JavaScript library, and then after that the function become available and we can use it here without having defined them. But here is the straightforward example Java JS style. When we click on the style buttons, and it do what it's do is to so here is a quick short way of using Doom. So we use text is the ID of the paragraph here, and we get access directly to these elements by calling its ID. So here you understand why the ID is needed, because sometimes we only we want to access to only one specific HTML element. Sometimes we want to put to a class, but here and actually for do model, it's normally it's only return you one element. So here you so you text that's refer to this ID. Then after that you use the point to get access to the next attribute. I think you can access to other things as well. That it doesn't show easily. Yeah, alerts or show it with anything. It basically it can be any attribute style. It can be what else? On click. So it is a way to get access to the attributes of the elements. And after that, you can get to font size, you can get to font family, you can get to font color. Of course, you can get to any style attributes, say background color, I think. Yeah, okay, so that means when we click on the button, so these three things will happen. First, the font size will become 14 points, font family become Comic Sans, and font color become green. In browsers. Yeah. If we follow the example of the JavaScript provided by W3 school, let's consider. Now, well, um, no, you are totally free to learn from the website, so no problems. And you can follow example. That's also what I mentioned before when I gave the link, direct link to the two slideshow, right? The web slider, sorry. Once a web slider come directly from the JavaScript, the W3 school, W3 school, yeah. Um, we want you to actually understand and use that. So anyway, you need to show that in the final exam. So you should be able to understand. And yeah, so when you understand, you don't have to remember and write yourself. Of course, you have a way to reproduce it. But the important thing is for you to understand. JavaScript for example, yes, so it will be there. Uh, we will be in the level of writing a very simple uh, code, or and also with understanding concepts. You don't have to write a complicated one. You, of course, you do not have to write the whole web sliders again there, no. But well, that's for example, what is listed here will be something I think that is fair to ask. Let's get here. Yeah, so you need to understand, okay, how the alerts work in JavaScript. It's actually a function, right? And you click on something, you call for that function to be executed, and alert only show you a pop-up window. Yeah, it's this is a common concept in other languages as well. That's very basic. So so you expect to understand these things. How to create a functions, yes. What on click mean, and yeah, this one we go to in the next meeting. Document dot get elements by ID. Yeah. And this is an example of DOM actually, and the dollar sign here as the way to access to also some HTML elements, but using jQuery. DOM and jQuery are alternatives to access to HTML things. In the same way, let's get into this example. Is a more practical. For example, here it's very normal that you have a schema for internet, and we ask you to write the first name. Okay, my name is often wrongly written, and okay, my first name is Anh, A-N-H instead of A-H-N. And then I submit. Okay, what happened? What happened when I submit? Okay, it right into the it right in. This is different from submit. Yeah. there's something we need to do here. No, okay, here on submit get form value, and maybe here what we do is to just alert that out instead. Yeah, need to fix something here. Elements. Yeah, so here instead of we log it in, we send out the first. Oh, yeah, yeah. So okay. Okay, so yeah, I fixed the code a bit. If you get into this exercise, so this is the solution for the three exercise by JavaScript. If you get into that module and doing that exercise, that's something you can try with. So here the first name I give is Anh, and the last name is yeah, my family names. And what I did is submit. Here if you use on click, it happens as well, so it will trigger things. But for a form, we have the more standard way is on submit. So we click on submit. Yeah, yeah. And here is do something else. Here it's going through the list of value. Yeah, so first name and last name values here. And actually I need to access the console to the log. I should open the console from my window here. You can get into your console, maybe more tool, developer tools here. In the developer tool, you will see the console. Where I start here, this one. Yeah. So the result will showing here as well. But yeah, but I also show via the alert function. That's why I like to ask about alert. So okay, so here when you submit, so first is come here the debit, and here as you see here it also come here two things, and it resets. Okay, if we do not see this one, save it again. I'll refresh and give this actually my name. Submit. Yeah, so you see Anh and Nguyễn, and it's quickly restarted. I don't know. Yeah, yeah, but yes, so this what you can do with form. So it's in the same way you define a functions, you bind it with some events here on submit. You define the functions, and inside the function you should know how to get access to elements, because most of the things you want to do is to change something with the HTML elements. And to be able to do that, we need either DOM or jQuery. Yeah, so we can have a bit of time next week to get into Flexbox a bit more and also JavaScript a bit more. Yeah, so well, yes, I would say that maybe you well finish half of the course with oblique n, and then you finish the rest with oblique 2. I would be optimistic at this point because I see everybody have submitted oblique n that passing the fundamental requirements. So yeah, so if you need some more uh, uh, like directions, directing or some yeah advice regarding what to focus in this course, and then you can ask always. Use the survey. The survey link is always opens. It is not equivalent to the list for the exam, but it yeah it give yeah it is the intended learning outcomes, at least from uh, what we have learned so far. So again, if you want some reference, and then look again into the survey, yeah, you do not have to fill it in again, but yeah, all the content can be copied out. Yes, yeah. So I'm just saying you can look at the survey have been sent out. We try to run a summary lecture in the end to cover important topics, but it will most likely overlap with this survey. Yes, so very good. We finish for today, and let's meet again the same time next week. So good luck with the oblique tool, and I'm sure you will get feedback so you can improve. Yeah, for the sake of the final exam. Yeah, thank you, everyone.